Think of something in your life that you've wanted to accomplish but haven't. Something deep down. Maybe you haven't gotten around to it, are too timid to go for it, or took a shot and failed spectacularly. Conjure up in your mind that big failure of your life. Perhaps you're in the middle of it now. It goes without saying, we all fuck up big time. That's obvious. Of course, some of us are better at not fucking up than others, but that's kind of obvious too. And then there are those who string along coulda shoulda moments throughout their life, like the toilet paper I used to string up along my neighbor's house as a kid. A failure so consistent, it borders on art. In the years I've spent helping other people overcome their personal issues, I've often been asked what the biggest cause of failure was that I've come across. Some people have relationship problems, some have money problems, others have anxiety issues, etc. But the biggest problems I've seen in many of these people were not specific to relationships, money, confidence or whatever. It's easy to figure out how to ask someone out, or how to start a business, or how to just do something even when you're afraid. Dealing with your fear of abandonment, or your toxic money habits, or your screwed up beliefs about what others think about you. That's a tad more involved. Chances are, a profound struggle in one area of your life will bleed over into other aspects of it. The principles of failure are rarely prejudiced. The behaviors and thoughts that sabotage you in one area of your life will stalk you in other areas. That reticence to ever ask someone out on a date probably plays out in your failure to move to a new city, to take that new job, the timidity around your domineering co-workers, your passive-aggressive relationships with your family members. When confronted with life's biggest opportunities, most of us shit the bed. And then we enact a number of strategies to avoid the pain and pressure inherent in reaching for our dreams. Below are 10 of the most common strategies for reluctance I can think of. We'll start at the shallow end and work our way to the deep end. Read it and weep. Emerson wrote, "Society everywhere is in conspiracy against the self-reliance of every one of its members. People don't like it when other people change or do something that makes them feel awkward or insecure. Pushing ourselves to reach our own greatness threatens the complacency of those around us, shining a light on their own squashed dreams and failed potential. In many cases, these people lash out. It makes them question themselves, which is difficult for most to handle. Why you fail? You're afraid to make a bold move." I talked to a fellow internet entrepreneur last night. He's started multiple online ventures. Some have failed. Some have made money. All of it was struggle. He spent time traveling around the world and returned home for the holidays, where his father promptly told him that he needed to be realistic and get a normal job. Simple fact of life. If you want to do something incredible, something that makes you stand out above the rest, then you have to become comfortable being different from the rest. People will think you're weird, crazy, selfish, arrogant, irresponsible, obnoxious, stupid, disrespectful, fat, insecure, ugly, shallow, etc. Those closest to you will often become the harshest. If you have weak boundaries or are not confident with your own ideas and desires, then you're not going to make it very far. In 2009, debut author Karl Marlands finally published Matterhorn, a novel based on his experiences in the Vietnam War. The book was a hit. The New York Times called it one of the most profound and devastating novels to ever come out of any war. Mark Bowden, best-selling author of Black Hawk Down, declared it the greatest book ever written about the Vietnam War. It took over 35 years for Marlands to get his book published, more than half of his lifetime. He rewrote the manuscript 6 separate times. For the first 2 decades, publishers hardly read it, much less rejected it. Most of us give up on something we're passionate about too soon. And anyone who's been successful has a tale of struggle and perseverance to share. As the cliche goes, nothing worth having comes easy. There are many people out there who accomplish a little bit and decide that they are an expert. Humility is knowing what you don't know. In the world of online marketing and internet business, I began to notice a trend a couple of years ago in the business owners I met. The people who had a big mouth, who regularly went on and on about what they accomplished, exaggerated their successes and sapped the attention from the ether around them. They were moderately successful at best. Sometimes they were not successful at all. That is, they still had day jobs or even lived with their parents. Yet they were more than willing to dole out their sage wisdom to anyone and everyone who would listen. But the people who were legitimate, self-made millionaires, the ones who actually did scale to the peaks of their industries, they often admitted they did not know an answer. They downplayed their successes, or usually never even mentioned them. Instead, they regularly pointed out their weaknesses and how they needed to learn more. This did not strike me as a coincidence. Guaranteed express ticket to sucking, trying to be right instead of good. I don't care what it is. If you're more invested in arguing your point of view against people who are trying to help you than you are in improving yourself, then you've effectively given up. And for all of your brainiac debating, you're still too stupid to see it. To succeed at anything, there's a feedback loop that must be in place. Try something, get feedback and results. Learn from feedback and results. Try something new. People who are dead set on arguing why what they already believed is right, despite it not working, are effectively breaking the chain off and not accepting feedback. Therefore they will never change. Not to say that everyone should always take advice from everybody, but you should accept feedback whether you believe it's relevant or not. Not try to argue your way into looking like you were right all along. The people who suffer from this problem tend to be highly intelligent and extremely insecure. It's a bad mix, because the more intelligent someone is, the more